Hi, my name is Walid and welcome to my channel where I try to introduce some Middle Eastern dishes. Today's dish is Roz Bokhari, known to some as polo and pilaf. It is believed that the dish originated in Uzbekistan and moved there west to the Arabian Peninsula where it became very popular. Many legends surround this dish, stories that it was served to Alexander the Great, so it must be good. Let's take a look at this dish and how to make it. The ingredients for this great dish: we have 1 kilo of basmati rice or 4 cups of rice, 2 carrots, 3 tomatoes. No problem to use any bruised tomatoes that you have, since we'll be removing the skin, and juiced. 3 red onions. For the spices, we have cumin seeds, which will be ground into powder. The other spice will be the alpina plant. Let me know in the comments if you can find this plant very easily where you are. Some black raisins. A liter of water, salt, and obviously not included here, some coconut oil, and tomato paste. This is an overview of the whole ingredients before preparation. Let's see how we're going to prepare each ingredient. Let's begin with the easy preparation. Raisins. We're just going to soak them in water for about an hour to 2 hours. Cold water, no hot water is necessary. The cumin seed, I just grounded them. You can obviously toast them and ground them to release more flavors, but I just ground them directly. And this came about 2 tablespoons. For the tomato preparation, we just need to soak them in hot water for 10 to 15 minutes to make the peeling of the skins easier. After soaking the tomatoes in hot water for 10 to 15 minutes, take out the tomato. Be careful that the water is very hot, and do a cross section at the bottom of the tomatoes, like this. Start peeling the skin. If the skin doesn't come out easily, you need to soak the tomatoes in hot water for longer than 10 to 15 minutes. After peeling the tomatoes, let's get the food processor out and roughly chop the tomatoes and add them. What we're trying to do is juice the tomato or make it more like a puree. Turn on the mixer. Puree the tomato or juice the tomato until you get this consistency. The carrots. Since they'll be cooking in oil, we're going to try to cut them into equal sizes. For the professional cooks out there, the cut will be julienne. Your carrot should look like this, peeled and ready to go. For the red onion preparation, a simple chop or dice is enough. Either cut would be good. This is what your red onion should look like. Now, for the greatest online cooking debate. Should you or shouldn't you wash the rice? As you can see, I follow the school that says you should wash your rice. Not only that I wash the rice until the water becomes clear, I soak it for at least half an hour and then drain the water. This is what you should have before heading over to the stove. Your rice drained, your raisins drained, and all your food is ready to be added. Let's start cooking. We add the oil first to the pan, preferably a neutral oil like canola seed or rapeseed oil, sunflower oil. Wait until your oil becomes hot on a medium heat. Start by adding the carrots to the hot oil and stir. The carrots should not be fully cooked in the oil. They should be half cooked. The other half of the cooking will be completed with the water and rice. A good indication that your carrot is ready to receive the next ingredient is that the oil turned orange. Once you see the orange color, it's ready to receive the next ingredient. Then we add the drained raisins. The raisins should not take that long to cook. Once you see them puffed, they're ready to be taken out. Now we remove the carrots and raisins from the oil and leave as much of the oil as possible. Be careful not to burn yourself. The oil is extremely hot. We want to keep the oil for the onions. It will be full of flavors, raisins and carrots. Keep the raisins and carrots aside. They will be used later in the cooking process. With the hot pan on the stove, add the onions and stir. Once your onion turns golden brown, we add half of the tomato juice. Followed by the tomato paste. And stir. We stir the tomato and onion mixture until we get a reduction. Reduce the mixture by half, making sure that most of the tomato water has evaporated. Then we add the carrots and raisin that we took out at the beginning of the cooking. Not all of the mixture, but half of the mixture. The carrots and raisin that was cooked by half. We stir them in. Now it's time for the spices. We start by adding the alpine. And cumin. Once the spices are mixed in with the carrots and tomato and onion, we add the rice. Slowly mixing together to infuse the rice with the spices and the mixture before adding the water. Now it's time to add the 1 liter of water that we have to the mixture, slowly. Making sure that the water just about to cover the rice on the surface. A very important step with the water that we forgot to film is the addition of salt. 1 tablespoon should be enough with this amount of rice. Mix the rice and water to make sure that the salt has dissolved. The next step is completely optional. You don't have to do it, but once the water has covered the rice, you can add 2 whole chilies without any piercing or cutting, just the whole chili. This will add some flavor to the rice without the heat. Cover the rice and leave it on low heat for 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, it should look something like this. If it does, turn off the heat immediately and leave for 10 minutes. Don't forget to add the rest of the carrot and raisin on the top of the rice. I forget to film it, but it should look something like this. Now, if your rice doesn't look like this, it looks more dry, add water, little by little. Don't add too much water. And if it looks wet and cooked, then you need to remove the water. Removing the water, that's another video. After the 10-minute cooling down period, we start our serving by removing the chili, being careful not to break it. We don't want to add any heat to the rice. We just want to add the flavor of the chili. Next, start the search for the alpinia. You don't want to serve that to anybody. It's a really hard root. We added it to the dish for flavor only, not to be eaten. It's a good practice to remember how many roots are there in the dish, so you don't forget anything inside. And now we are ready to serve and eat. You can definitely eat the rice by itself, or if you prefer, with the tomato puree / juice that we saved. Not only that the recipe is very tasty, you can definitely serve it to vegetarians and vegan. And if you are a meat eater, you can definitely have it with the meat on the side, chicken or lamb. In case you are asking, yes, you can serve it with the boiled meat from the previous video. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up if you like the recipe and the video. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please subscribe. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.